Hey, what's up? Scott Balcom here with Imagination Creation Films. And it's the 10th of January, and I miss these live streams. We got to keep doing these. Oh, yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Scott Balcom live stream. That's right. It's my live stream. The live stream where I just pretend like I'm somebody special and that people want to interact. And I sit here behind a table with a camera, some beautiful lights, and just do a lot of pretend, Hopefully today will cooperate. We have a lot of high winds in the area. There's supposed to be storms brewing. There's a storm brewing. I don't know if there's a storm brewing or not. But they say there's supposed to be massive tornadoes everywhere, all that good stuff. I don't see no tornadoes out there. But yeah, I'm here, and we're just going to see how the live stream goes. I'll go as long as I can because I care. Oh, what do we got planned? Wow. Well, we've got some cool stuff planned to show. We got some good videos. I've cut down to just one video a week. The reason being is it was very hard for me to focus on other projects that have money and revenue and do 2 videos and a live stream a week. So I'm just cutting it down to just one video a week. That video may come out either on Mondays or Tuesdays. It just depends. And quite honestly, between you and me, it really has to do with whether I shot it on Sunday or Monday. Time is always, of course, time is a construct, if I understand it correctly. Devil22, hey, how are you? It is, It's cool, but we got a lot more stuff. I've been shooting a lot of stuff with the motion control rig. Hope you all enjoyed that video on how to. Yes, I completely forgot to show a video. A friend of mine hit me up and said, hey, you probably should have shown a video of the unit actually performing one of the bigger moves. Yeah, it's true. I actually shot it, but because I was editing that at 2 o'clock in the morning and uploading at 3, yeah, I failed. I didn't include the video. So yeah, I'll do another video on the motion control system because A, I care. Number 2, because I need to include that video. And D, because there's so much more product shots I've been doing and really enjoying that. Let's see, we have another aperture device here that I'll be reviewing here and showing off and putting it through its paces and doing all that fun stuff that I just love doing for you and for me because this is stuff I use. And then we've got some giveaways. We already gave away the Kessler quick release. That was given away to Jacob Sutton. He was a commenter and subscriber down on the giveaway. It was 2 weeks ago on the Kessler, the Recon, the really kick-ass truck. And so he got that. He's really excited. I asked him to send me a video, just saying that he got it and all that good stuff. When he does that, I will include it in one of these videos. And then, you know that, yes, I'm actually giving this stuff away. I have more stuff to give away. I've got this nice aperture light here to give away. I also have $50 gift card to Adorama to give away. So lots of cool little giveaways. And who knows what might pop up here soon to give away. All kinds of stuff. I've got a lot of great friends out there that just like helping out. And I appreciate that because it keeps you interested. It gives cool stuff. It also gives me great stuff to review. And then I, can give away some of that stuff. It's like fair. Timothy Hyatt. Hey, Scott, good to hear that Jacob got the quick release. He's a good guy. Oh, I did not know him, and I friended him immediately. Yeah, he was really excited when I messaged him. I kept thinking, wait, he's not related, is he? He's not. But yeah, it was really cool. And that was a completely random drawing. I basically took all of the comments, plopped them into Excel where they're numbered, not including my comments. And then I just went out to Google and did the random number generator between 1 and I don't remember how many comments there were. And it chose it. It was Jacob, and ta-da, Jacob won it. So those of you who appreciate that stuff, do go give Kessler Crane some love. Just like them on Facebook and Instagram, and follow the stuff that they're doing. Have you seen the new thing? When I had that car here, I completely and totally forgot to show their prototype that is now released today. But it's a little device that you can use DeWalt drill motor batteries. Plug it in and you get USB and D-tap out. Handles up to 3 amps. So you can power some mics, you can power your phone, you can power and recharge a lot of off-board gear. Wow. You could do all that with this little tiny device, and it's on sale right now. It's like $199, and it will probably go up as soon as they sell out of their first batch, which they will sell out really fast. So if you're interested in that, head on over there and check it out on store.kesslercrane.com. Zachary Miller, it would be nice to get a Red Monstro Ranger V-mount bundle giveaway. I completely agree. Maybe one day, maybe I'll be so huge that Jared's like, dang, Scott, you are killing it, bro. Let's give away a Monstro Ranger. Maybe one day. I'll start small. If Red wants to give me a hat to give away, I'll give that away. I'm not a grabby or I don't know how to phrase it. I'll ask a vendor, just hey. Sometimes I say, can I buy it at a discount to give it away? Just so you guys have something fun to participate along with. But you guys can really help by sharing this channel. Share it out to all your friends. Put it on your Facebook page or your Twitter or your Instagram. Just put it out there and say, go subscribe to this guy because, he's got cool giveaways and he's enjoyable to talk to. I don't know, help out. Birthday's coming up, if you want to give me something nice, what I'm saying. Bill says, sorry, late to the party. Well, Bill, better than ever. Bill was trying to tell me how great his barbecue is up there on the East Coast. One thing about being small is we learn to respect the process and understand the hard times. Yes, we do. And, hard times hit us all. Every single one of us, every single day. But it's the passion, and it is interesting because I see a lot of different people out there who talk about it. And like Mike Rowe, if y'all don't know who Mike Rowe is the Dirty Jobs guy. He's also a really outspoken guy. Also, he's really big into trade, working a trade as opposed to going to school and getting a philosophy degree that gives you nothing but debt. And he had a long article about don't follow your passions. And his reasoning was do something else with your passion. Go get a job you want to do that you can do that can make you money to allow you to focus on your passions. And I'm okay with that. I believe in following your passions. But then again, there's a difference between myself and probably a lot of you and the average person. We're creatives. We we are not chasing the almighty dollar. We love it. We want it because it allows us to be more creative. But it's not our absolute goal in life. And then if it is, well, you're probably chasing the wrong way. But being able to chase our passions and our creativity is what drives us and what fulfills us. And it's what keeps us really content. And, you know, happiness is one of those that is tough to measure because, wow, if I just had the new Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, then I'll be happy. Oh, if I just had a new, I'll be happy. Well, happiness is not measured because it's never defined. You never define what is happiness, because happiness is a feeling, and it's an emotion that it's short-lived. It is an emotion that you feel. And so you may feel sad and then you feel happy. You'll never be happy all the time because life isn't that way. However, contentment is totally different. And contentment means that even though you may be sad, you're content with what you're doing. It means that you're fulfilled and that you're following what makes you feel good overall. It makes you happy overall. It makes you creative. Let's see. Who's got some questions out here? Hopefully the live stream keeps on. It looks like we're dropping a couple frames here and there, but you know, we'll see. Straighten my shirt out. On the diet front, I'm actually up 1 pound today, but yesterday I was down 39 pounds, which is nice. I mean, today it's 38 pounds, and it was 38 pounds like 3 days ago. So it's a slow going, but I'm still losing about 2.5 pounds or so a week. Really happy about that. I think it shows. Well, my beard's getting long, so it's not quite there, but I think it definitely shows here because I don't have this like bulge coming here. These moobs are not just like, you know, resting on the table. There's a visual for you. But yeah. How's the Q&A questions coming? I only have a few. Those of you who have some good questions that you would like answered in a video, excuse me, sorry. I did put out a question request. I want to do an episode on just questions that you may have that some of you that are in the live stream, that aren't in the live stream, could ask. And so I put it out there on Twitter. I put it out there on my Facebook. So if you have any questions, throw them my way. You can throw them here. I'm happy to answer here. That's what this is about. But if you have questions that you think other people that may not be on the live stream might like, well, then you can throw them out there that way. My dog is laying down and content. Somewhere about 47 minutes from now, he's going to start stirring and getting up and start pacing, because for some reason he always knows. Back when I was working the 9 to 5, he would always get up and go to the door about 30 minutes before I was due home. He always knew just the time of day. And now my wife's at the 9 to 5 and I'm here. Well, then he knows when she's coming home, which is, you know, kind of cool. All right, who's got some questions? Zachary says, what are your thoughts on the Autel 8K drone? Well, I have a few. And I have a few based on what I've seen, what I've read, and then talking to some friends who have, well, let's just say have some experience with them, with the 8K. Optically, it's not going to do well 8K wise. It is an 8K sensor, but it's a little soft when it comes to 8K. The 6K sensor, on the other hand, is a lot nicer and bigger too. It's a 1 inch. And I think that one is going to be probably a better option for a lot of people. But the 8K does have the FLIR. And I think the FLIR, even for filmmakers, I think you can have a lot of fun with that. I kind of dig that myself. Also, the bit rate. So you got to figure The bit rate is 120 megabits. That's right, 120 megabits, which means it's 15 megabytes per second. Now, a Red camera shoots 8K at 300 megabytes per second, up to. I mean, it will shoot it pretty much at 120 to 300, and that is raw. I get it. But it's compressed raw. So 120 megabits is 1/10 or 1/8, 120 megabytes. No, it's 1/10. Yeah. So yeah. No. 60. No, it's 1/8. Yeah, 1/8. It's not 1/10 because your megabytes to megabits, 8 bits in a byte, unless you're talking about fiber channel. Fiber channel is actually 10 bits that goes across instead of 8. There's some behind the baseball. Let's see here. Alex says, hey, Scott, how's it going? It's going well, Alex. How's it going down south? Way south. Chad Watkins has retracted. Why did you retract? Why did you retract? I did my first inside aerial vid Monday on a commercial I shot. Interesting, as there were handling power cords through wow, that must have been fun. I did one video where it was a big office building and they were renovating the whole thing. And so they were gutting it and then they were adding to it. And so what I did was I flew my drone down the same paths every day, the same speed, and lined it up as best I could so that my finished video was a cut as it's flying down the main hallway or the main area, the office area. It would change as time progressed. It turned out pretty well. It's not my video now, so I can't share it. But it was pretty cool. I'll tell you the one thing it did, shooting indoors, boy, do they kick up dust. The second time I flew, I had a full-on respirator on because good grief, that was horrible. Chad says, hi, Scotty. Haven't been beamed up in a while. Well, you're beamed now, buddy. Happy New Year's, everyone, and glad to see you're still doing your thing. I am doing my thing. Glad to see you're still doing your thing. I watch your videos. I like your music videos out there. Autotext screwed my whole message up. My bad. Autotext is definitely not my friend. I had the funniest one today. I'm trying to think of the word. I kept typing in the word, and it kept, it was don't. Don't and isn't. Or no, it was don't and another contraction. It wouldn't correct don't, but it would correct the other one. In fact, the other one was not supposed to be a contraction, and it kept correcting it to a contraction. I don't get autocorrect. I'm not smart enough. Bill says, I flew a pattern then for a commercial, ran it in reverse so it looked like it was being revealed. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, I dig that. I like that a lot. Drones are really cool. I do like the plethora of new, smaller drones coming out. Also, for the Autel drone, I like today that they are not airlocked. So you can actually fly them in an area that you're not supposed to. By that, I mean responsibly. For instance, if I live in my house and there is a giant 50-foot tree and I live within 5 miles of an airport, I should be allowed to fly that drone up to the height of my tree without a problem. DJI is now geofenced and you can't do that. I imagine that the Autel will be very soon, but right now they're saying it isn't. The other thing on drone news that's going to affect drones badly is the new what do they call it? Air ID law that they're trying to implement, where basically you have to put a transmitter in your drone that sends its location at all times to all traffic around it, which will destroy the hobby basically, and which will then also destroy, creative filmmaking that is not pro. you know, we live in a strange world. I'll give you that. So what else is going on out there, people? Who's got questions that they want to just absolutely throw out here and get answered right now? Aperture. Aperture replying to my tweets, and I know who you are, Aperture. Let's see here. Here we go. Bill says, that is the problem with the Mavic Mini. It doesn't have an unlock available. I would have been able to do the commercial with it Monday because of the vicinity of the airport, even though it was. Yeah, it's a problem. Bill, you should check out, there is a third-party app, and I forget what it's called. It's not Nietzsche. Hitachi. It's not Hitachi, but it's like Hadichi or something like that. Look it up on websites, and you can replace the firmware on your drone and with a new app, and it's not geofenced. Kind of cool. A beachy, something like that. Let's see here. Chad says, Scotty, I am not doing something right. I shoot decent video, but I feel my grade isn't the best. I try grading in Resolve and sending back to Premiere in my workflow, but Resolve always errors out my effect. Yeah. So first off, Chad, don't put effects on anything. Get a rough edit locked. Once you get the rough edit, which is not any visual effects, then you send all those clips to Resolve, then send them back to Premiere. Then you can do the effects. So if you're going to do a speed ramp, you can technically do that now with Resolve. It's actually working, which is weird. But render that whole clip and then bring it back in and then do your speed ramp on it. That is your best way. Also, don't do any coloring. If you really, really care about the color, don't do the coloring in Premiere because it will mess it up. Resolve definitely has a much better color. I mean, like by far, much, much better. But are you using log or what are you shooting in on your red? Also remind me of your red. You have a Scarlet, is that right? I think it's a Scarlet MX, but let me know what you're shooting in, what color you're shooting in, what you're doing with that color in RAW on Premiere, and then in Resolve as well. And maybe we can work through that. Also, are you using IPP2 in post? Try that too. Bill says, Lychee, but the Mini isn't work with it. Oh, it will. I bet it will. Yeah, Lychee. That's the one. Abel, Scotty, Abel. There we go. Shout outs coming all around. Who's got questions? So far with the high wind, we're doing okay. Chad says, Red Gamma RGB 3G10 IPP2. Yeah, okay. Red, I got you. Okay. And 3G10. And then you're monitoring it in what? Rec 709, BT 1886, sorry. Also, do you have a calibrated monitor? That also helps. It's not, I mean, it is technically required, but it's not critical. It's definitely more critical to get your white point right than it is to get color. And I'm going to do a video on that actually, because I mean, I am not God's gift to color. Just get that out there right now. And in fact, my monitors were not calibrated very well. I was not following a couple of steps beforehand that I needed to do. And a friend of mine, Brandon, who's helped me out many times before, he put me on track to the right way. I think it's kind of become his, I don't know, let's call it a pet peeve of his. And so he's learned in depth through trial and error, and he shared that with me. And I want to share that with you guys on how to properly color calibrate a monitor, because it's more than just throw the data color or any of the others, spider checkers, any of those on there and go calibrate. No, there's a whole lot more to that. ProRes 422. ProRes 422 is your output, but what are you monitoring the so in Resolve, yeah, you need to tell me your whole workflow, because you should not be exporting from Premiere other than if you're taking Pro 22 in there. You should not. You should be using RAW. I don't have a 4K monitor. I have an LG monitor that is 8-bit, and I'm pushing it to 85 hertz. That's fine. That doesn't matter. I don't have, well, I do have a 4K monitor, but I don't color grade on it. 4K is not required. 10-bit is definitely a plus. 8-bit is good. It's more appropriate that the monitor be close to Rec 709 and then the others after that than it is to have 10-bit, because if it's off and you got 10-bit, great. You've got amazing amounts of color that's wrong. So don't get put off on needing a 4K monitor or anything like that. I still grade. I grade on an OC monitor. I've had it for years. It's a little 15-inch monitor. And it's fairly color accurate. I would not call it a champ, but it's what I got. And it's what I got. Life is. But yeah, you should be going into Premiere with RAW, and from the, what just happened? Everybody just disconnect? That's weird. And everybody's back. I don't know. I think YouTube is like, you have a whole bunch of people, and now you have no one. No one is watching you, Scott. And then everybody's coming back. That's weird. Concurrent viewers, chat rate. Yeah, I like the concurrent viewers. Y'all are only watching for 5 minutes and 49 seconds. Come on, y'all watch that stuff. Watch that stuff. You should be going RAW into Premiere, make your rough edit, and then take all those clips and then export out with the what's the like the Final Cut, export to go to Avid, the file, the small little file. Import that into Resolve. That brings in your clips, takes those clips. They'll be on the timeline already. Now you can go in and color those. You need to set up in there a whole lot of stuff. And that's a video that I need to go through, because I'm getting it a lot better now. But you need to set up your color and display workflow on there to support the IPP2 as well. Because if you have the wrong stuff, you could be grading it all wrong, but it looks right on your monitor. But when you export it back out, now it's all wrong and you don't realize it. And that's huge. I don't have Resolve in front of me. And unfortunately, photographic memory, I can only remember it if I see it. I can then remember every setting I need to do, but I'm not seeing the screen. It's not perfect photographic memory. But I can, my photographic memory is odd. I can go around and I can click on the screen virtually and not have to see what it is, because I remember every place that everything is, which is why when they redo everything, oh, it ruins my life. Also, do you recommend playing with the FLUT to get different color looks? Never. FLUT is about, it's basically the way no, I don't. I mean, you can, but no. Yeah, XML. Thank you, Chad. Man, I'm just totally spacing today. Again, I go up there, I click File, Export, boom, boom. I know exactly what to click. I don't need to know what it's called except to tell you guys what it is, which really sucks. CG says, hey, Scott. Hey, CG. How's it going, man? How's your life? We're just chatting up a storm here. We've been on for 30 minutes. It's been great. Technically, I've been live streaming for 51 minutes, but y'all don't know that. Oh, and I have my live chat back. I figured that one out. I need to update Firefox. Really? That's so pathetic. Yeah, I updated Firefox and it fixed it. That was kind of nice. Let's see what else on here. There was something else I was going to say on here. I got my live chat back. CG says life's busy. That's good though. That's really good. I like a busy life. I think it's fun. Chad says, is there any good books out there or video to help with shutter angle speeds and the different looks you get? Yeah. I'm fairly, if you go back and watch the videos that I did on the books, it's the yellow book. Again, I'm not, let me go grab it. Let me grab it. Everybody talk amongst yourself briefly. BT.1886 is the best output. Yes or no, discuss amongst yourselves while I go in here and find this book that hopefully is not in the wrong place. That one is, yeah, y'all better be talking. I want to know what you're talking about. Because I'm going to come back in there and I'm going to verify your work. I'm going to check your answers. Hopefully my range didn't extend out. And let's see here. Hey, we got lots more people. Don DeChon, yeah. Looking good, man. Thank you. Scotty's on keto. Scotty is on keto. I believe it's this one. Let me verify it real fast. I thought that had a library card in it. But I mean, it's anamorphic. No. Let's see here. Portraits, sources, technical, the lab. Day interiors, no. Techniques, no. The lab lighting is set. Maybe it's not this one. I'll get back to you on that one. It's not this one. It's not. This one did not have the visuals that I thought. But to explain it, here's the best way to explain it. So if I'm here, let's just do this. What is this? Skin tones. Nice. My wife's notes in the coloring book. Okay, so here I am right here. And I'm going from point A to point B. If I were to set a 180-degree shutter, and this is one frame, that means that it will expose for exactly half. So if I can move from here to here well, it would be 1/24th, if I'm shooting 24 frames a second, and this is one frame, then at 180 degrees, the film, I'm moving from here to here in 1/24th of a second, regardless. And I'm moving just like this. So if I shoot 360-degree shutter, then while this frame is exposed, I've moved from here to here, which would mean you're going to get a blur. You're going to get a really long blur. If I shoot 180, it will go from here to here, in that same amount of time. If I shoot at a 90, it'll go from 1/4 that. If I shoot 1/45, it moves that much. What you're trying to do is you're trying to mimic two things. You're trying to mimic the perception. So do I want to perceive that this person is moving really fast by having a lot of motion blur, streaking? In that case, I probably want to have a higher shutter angle. If I want to see the person detailed, then I want a lower shutter angle. And it typically gives a staccato feel, you kind of feel it. It's a jitter that you see. It's not necessarily always the best thing, but it does allow you to see. So for instance, I noticed a lot in car videos where they're showing the car accelerating away. They'll shoot that at like a 45 degree shutter angle. And all that is allowing you to see the tire and the wheel, and not just be a blur. And then the way to understand that is 1/24th, if you're shooting 24 frames a second, 360 degrees is 1/24th of a second. So you'd set yours to 1/24 or 360 degrees. And then from there, it's just simple math. So if you take a 360 and you want to go half that, that's a 180 degree shutter, then you just take half of it. So you want to expose for half that amount of time. So half of 1/24th of a second is 1/48th of a second. Then you go to 1/96th and then 1/192, et cetera, et cetera. You're just cutting it in half. And that's the premise. I hope that's what you were asking about. I hope that helps. If not, I'll try to find you a book that will help, because one of them does have that. Let's see here. Looking good, looking good. Thank you, Don. How's Alaska, man? Scotty's on keto. Scotty is on keto. Scotty's doing well on keto. I love it. I feel like we're in college. Yeah, CG, we're in college. I saw he's on that diet. Yep, ha ha ha. Professor Scott. I came in here late to class. So what's the question? The question was above any good books on help the shutter angle speeds and the different looks that you get. So the more motion blur is the more perception of speed. That person is so fast we can't even capture them. But it also, our eyes capture motion blur ever so much. If you want to demonstrate that, a prime example would be to take a watch, not a digital watch, but just a regular watch, and do like this in front of your hand, or take your hand like this in front of the sun or in front of a tungsten light, and just do this. You will see that your hand is here and here, and there's blurs in between. If you put your hand up to an LED or a television, or if you take a LED clock, a little clock radio, and you shake it really fast, you're going to see the clock the whole way. You're going to see clock, 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 because the staccato nature of a really fast shutter, which is how fast we're seeing it on our eyes, works the same way. It's just exactly opposite. I could just hang with Scotty for a weekend and learn all the cool stuff about my cam. Yeah, we should do that sometime. Also, I notice when I shoot, maybe it's me, but all my stuff has a darker look, even though my exposure is correct. Yeah, what are you monitoring? Are you monitoring log, or are you monitoring in like red gamma, any of that kind of stuff? Are you watching your histogram, making sure? Are you feeding it enough light? You have the MX sensor, right? MX sensor loves light. Give it all the light you can possibly give it. It will eat it up. Yeah. Don says, it's cold autofocus right now. -10. Wow, that's cold. Yeah, I don't know that. I'm coming up to Alaska at some point. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be this year or next, but I'm going to come to Alaska. We'll go grab coffee or an adult beverage or something up there when I do. CG says, thanks for explaining shutter speed, Scott. Did it help? I have no idea. I get on ramblings. I try to figure out the best way that I would learn it. And I'm not everybody, but I feel like it would help. You going to get into FPV drone stuff? I am, but I suck at FPV simulator right now. Whew. But I am getting into that. I like that. I'll probably get into it in the summertime. Scarlet W Dragon 5K. Cool. So, yeah, you should be shooting in like Dragon Color 2 Red Gamma 4 is what I like to shoot in because you can't shoot in IPP2. But that will give you the closest to like a Rec 709 out of your Scarlet, and then take it into post, and then switch it to the red wide gamut, and then you already had it, the other one, and then apply your contrast. I'm usually somewhere close to medium, but it just depends. Sometimes high contrast. Yeah. Don says, I need to come down too. Well, that's also a possibility. I'm definitely here in Texas. We can meet up, hang out. I think I'm viewing in log. I don't know how to apply different looks to the camera. So if you go, let me grab my red. We'll do some more class here. I have absolutely no problem doing that. Ooh. And I did promise Wesley that I was going to do the inside red as well, because I did the outside, the modularity of a red, et cetera, but I did not do what's on the inside, and I owe that to you guys, so it will come. Yeah. Let's see here. Denali says, Bill, Oh, Don says, maybe I'll come down to help you build a drone. Yeah, there we go. Boy, if you come down in summer, though, you might burst into flames. It's spicy down here. Y'all summer ain't nothing. Okay. Oh, I forgot I'm in that mode. Hold on. I'm doing some advanced stuff here. Well, it's not advanced, but I am in, let's go back here. Oh, settings, recording, frame processing. Yeah, I'm doing frame averaging right now, which is allowing me to shoot stuff. It basically add additional, it averages your frames out, it's frame averaging, but it basically gives you a less noisy image, but at the cost of frames per second. Okay, so if you haven't built it when it comes down, let's see. CG says, yeah, definitely helped. I came from DSLRs, so I just set my angle to 180 and I'll leave it. Honestly, that's the way I pretty much do it, CG, because I like a 180. Sometimes I'm at 172 if I want to feel a little more of the action. I'll give you a prime example, Chad. A fight scene is not necessarily the best thing to have motion blur too much, because you end up moving so fast that you don't get to see the fight. So you give it a little more staccato, like a 172, and that helps. Chad's powering up. All right, class, bring up your power. Okay, I just need to, I've already forgotten the question. I just need to get the different looks in the camera. Got it, okay. Menu, image pipeline. I'm going to switch to legacy real quick so I can be like you. Ooh, that changes things. And then we're going to, ooh, that's ugly. Real quick, go back in here. I gotta change a few things. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, doo, 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 doo. Yeah. What are we doing here? Woo. Okay, back. Hold on, almost there. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Let's see, recording. Okay. Good. Project. Yep. Okay. Right. Yep. Boom. Okay. Let's get back here, powering up that lower probe. Yeah, this thing is so cool, but my God, does it, well, that'll get me demonetized right there. Does it suck the light down? Oh man, that's why I'm shooting a lot of this stuff in really low frame rates, like about 2 frames a second, because it just uses so, I mean, I use aperture lights and these things are freaking the sun. This can't keep, it just absorbs it. I've had the aperture light like focused down and it's just enough to shoot it in 23.98. Okay, color space, red, white, gamut. Okay, you need to not be in there. You need to go to, say it ain't so. I don't know why I have that song in my head. Image pipeline. Do you have the time? Let's see here. How do I record in-body proxies? Well, you have to format. You have to format it so that you can do ProRes, which means you have to secure format it in the opposite way. So you do a secure format and you change it from FAT32 to the other one. Let's see here. I saw that some of the Chinese action films film in 25 and take out a frame. Oh yeah, absolutely. When shooting action, I don't shoot in 25. I shoot in 23.98, and then you remove a frame in the swing. So, or like right when someone's connecting to their face, you can remove the frame that shows that they didn't, or you can remove a frame in the swing, and then that way it speeds up that punch. And it doesn't feel off by just removing one frame. But yeah, that is definitely a technique. Also, another fun technique, if you're shooting a love scene, don't shoot it in 24 frames a second, shoot it in 26. That extra little bit of slow motion, just, I mean, you're talking like 8%. Makes it just a little more sensual, makes it feel a little less clumsy for all those love scenes that you're shooting. Under my mode selector, I only have legacy. Yeah, you would only have legacy. You can't get IPP2 until you have the new body. You have to have, so inside here, and CG has done a lot of details. If you watch CG, there are processors and RAM in here. The Scarlett W does not have, oh, there's also a board specifically for IPP2. The Scarlett W does not have that board. It also does not have enough horsepower to do any of that. So that's why there's the Dragon X upgrade that they were doing. I hope you signed up for that. I mean, if you didn't, then I don't know if you can still get it. If you don't have the funds, I totally get that. So you can't do IPP2 in camera without the board and the processor that allows you to do IPP2. It just requires a lot. See the new Kessler DeWalt plate? Yeah, Allie, we talked about that at the beginning, but yeah, it's really cool. There's also another version coming that is going to be a 10 amp output. So I wouldn't say, hold off for that one, but there's 2 options there coming. I totally, I was telling, also it doesn't look like we have a troll today, so I don't need you moderating, but thank you last week for doing that. That was such a lifesaver. When I had the big truck, I had that Kessler DeWalt power deal. And I forgot. It was sitting in there in the Pelican case, and I forgot to shoot a video on it. How pathetic am I? Okay. Kevin says, hey, Scott, it appears that all the near-to-do wells from last week are back in school. Yeah, it is very true. Yep, indeed. Incubus, yeah, thank you. I thought the newest firmware update, I could know. So I have to basically just change it to in Red City X before I start work. Yes. And you want to change it to the IPP2 color space. And it really does help. That's the beauty of the red, is at least you can always do that. What do you think about the new Insta camera? I would like to see more from it. Also, it is not done. So everybody's showing nothing from it because the color is not done. The firmware is not done on it. So it doesn't look perfect. I don't think anybody's shown anything from it yet, have they? I know they were all embargoed not to. It looks cool. We'll see. Okay, so your question was you're previewing it wrong. Can you tell me... No, not there. Your settings in your image pipeline, what are they under options? You should have legacy, and then I like Dragon Color 2 and Red Gamma 4. And then I completely just blew that out. Let's see, monitors. Let's see here. Yeah, Don says they're selling it right now. Yeah, they're selling the 3 amp right now, and I know they've only made a limited quantity up front. So if you want one, jump on it quick. They're $199 on sale right now, too. No worries, just happy to help. Thank you, Ellie. Yep. Zachary says, do a video on finding the cheapest red camera for sale or something like that, or do a video on choosing the best starter camera for beginners. I will do the latter. And Zachary, on the first part, I'm actually working on right now. And if any of you guys know of any of these horror stories, feel free to have the person reach out to me. Right now I'm collecting a lot of information. And basically, scamming is becoming really bad in our industry. And people are really getting taken advantage of with bad sellers, fakers, scammers, all kinds of stuff. And so I'm going to be making an awareness video on that, on the things to look out for, because I've gone through my life without being scammed very often, and I'm really detailed into validating people and such. But I mean, I've still been scammed. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'm doing that video right now because there are so many like red cameras that are out there that are fake. And it's sad. People are losing tens of thousands of dollars. But choosing the best starter camera, yeah, I can do that, absolutely. Ali says, Scott, you are into multi-tools or pocket knives. Yes. There's a knife. That's not a knife. I don't know why I have these on here for another reason. Spyderco, I like those knives. I like these type of knives, so yeah, I'll definitely use those. And I have those with me unless I'm on a plane. And then, yeah, I use multi-tools as well. The one that I use, I have it on my Christmas list, the Christmas wish list for filmmakers, if you see it on there. Chad, so what's the verdict? I'm trying to figure out the best profile. So the best profile that I do under image pipeline for you would be Legacy, Dragon Color 2, Red Gamma 4. That's my personal best profile in Legacy. When you get that set, tell me what else is showing up on your screen. Or tell me if it looks right or not. Say it ain't so. Sorry. I can't sing either. It's pretty bad. I can't put a LUT on there. CG says, I am looking at getting tracking devices for the Disney. You know, I've often wondered why they don't put them in. Ultimately, I think the reality is that they would need to be powered and they would need to have a cell phone service, and that costs money. Those are not cheap. And Red's probably not interested in paying for it. They don't want to have another device in here. Also, just best practice. You ever been on set and you're listening and monitoring the audio and you hear because your first AC forgot to turn their phone off or put it elsewhere? Putting a cell phone in a camera would probably be hell for audio. Recently got the Gerber Crucial tool and use it on every shoot. Yeah, Gerber, it makes a really good tool. I like the Gerber because you can grip it and it doesn't have all the blades on the outside, because I hate that on the one. Which one do I have? It's way over there. But some of those, the knives are on the outside, so when you're squeezing hard, like with pliers, you're embedding into your fingers all the different tools, and it stinks. I'm a Benchmade man. Yep. Spyderco all the way. Yep. Cool. Thanks, Scotty. Looks good. Oh, it looks good. Okay. So that's good. All right, cool. We're good there. We're not dropping frames. You're not monitoring in log, right? You're, man, this is so dark. I can't see. You should see your goalpost, should not say under it, raw. So if you tap, there we go. If you go down there to your histogram and you tap on it one time, it should bring up your overlays tools. If you click on raw, it should not be selected, by the way. But if you select it and then it goes gray, then yeah, you're in the right mode. If it does not go gray, if it goes to really contrasty, that's the correct look. You don't want to have raw on down there. Hey, we got a grip tips. How's it going there, buddy? And grip tips is going to be, he's going to be at NAB this year and Cinegear. So all you folks that are coming to NAB and to Cinegear, what I want from you is I want you the best video of him saying, I do watch Scott's channel. The best video of that, I'll give a t-shirt too. Like that, Dave? Let's see here. Wow, people are picking up. I guess 5 o'clock, everybody gets on. Chad says, never knew you could tap that. I'll be honest, dude, I didn't know it until like a year ago. And one of my friends is like, dude, just tap. I'm like, what? Dave's like, I see where you're going. Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I mean, just spread that love around. Also, Dave, I really appreciate you shouting out my channel. That was really cool. You got a whole bunch of people to subscribe, and that just, it warms the heart. I'll just put this right here. Does this look the best like this? Or should I put the red logo? There was a guy, he left a comment on my Red Komodo video, and he's like, not to be mean, but do you even own a Red? I'm like, all these videos, I have the Red in. Yeah, oh well. Let's see here. Where are we going? Chad says, so should the red light be on raw? No. And you should see, if you click raw, it should go gray. It should be raw. I mean, it should look log and really nasty. Yeah, you don't want to be in that. But then just stay between your goalposts down there at the bottom and you should be good. What's horizon? I see a small crooked meter. You have to set that. You can turn on horizon, and then you need to calibrate it, and you can do that. I just turned this off. But in, I believe, settings, calibration, where you would do your calibration for your sensor, there is a geo thing, and you can calculate, or you do that figure 8 thing with your red, and it will set your level. So then you can have an on-screen level if you want it. Dave says, ha, 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 ha. Here's my question. Did you finance your red, or did you pop it, or did you pop on it, or I did not finance my red. When I bought my red, I saved a lot of money and bought it. I saved a lot of money. When I bought that red, my first red, this is a different animal, but the first red, I think, was $36,000. And it was a long, long discussion with the wife. And it took about 2 years of saving and really doing that. I did that so that I would not have the financial hardship of it needing to be working for me, because I was not a full-time filmmaker at the time. And it's not necessarily the smart option. I mean, cash is definitely the smart option. Don't get me wrong. But when you become a credit card DP, it can sink you, because if you don't get enough jobs to pay your bills, now you got problems. And believe me, I've been there. I've done it. I have made so many financial mistakes that I can speak on. Don't do what Scott does a lot. But I can tell you, if you pay cash for something, then you don't have it hanging over your head. Also, buy it for the right reason. Don't buy it, and I did a whole video on this, don't buy it to rent it, because if the rental market dies, now all of a sudden you have a payment that you need. So buy it for you, because it's the right tool for you for most of your jobs. And then it will do it. And then make your money off of it. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I don't recommend financing it. Chad says, have you ever stripped a monitor mount thread on B camera body? No, but I've broken a pin off the mount. Thank God they have double the pins. But I don't know how that happened. I leave my monitor on now because I don't have a protection for this. And yeah, it sucks. If you break those off, they are replaceable. So those are inset threads. And there is actually, I think, a thread on Red User on specifically which ones to buy. And you can pull those right out and then put in a new one, and you can redo it. Bill says, how did you like the vid of the guy with the probe lens making the move? Oh, I love that one. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that one before because Kevin with Lawa, he had posted that one a little while back. There's a whole Facebook group just for this lens. The one I'm trying to do now, and I mean, there was a lot of hilarity going through with this, and I wanted to recreate the trench scene from Star Wars with this thing. And I basically figured out how to do it. I don't have the time to do it right now, but I wanted to also recreate the entire Millennium Falcon and X-Wings flying practically, not CG. Yeah. Don says, do you have a demo reel for potential clients? I have a demo reel that's not updated. It's out there on my YouTubes. It's also out on my Vimeo, which sucks. I hate Vimeo. It's from 2018. I am working right now. I am 90% done with my latest demo reel. And quite honestly, some of these product shots are going in there because they're turning out so great. And technically, you can put it out right up until that point of that demo reel. So yeah, I'm adding those in. CG says, I always have Horizon. I shoot handheld most of the time. I shoot handheld some. I'm not a handheld guy a lot. I really like fluid movements, but it really depends on what I'm shooting too. So I get it. Ali says, Scott, how did you achieve the last shot in the guitar video? The move perplexed me. You got to buy my class. No, I'm just kidding. You got to buy my book. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to tell. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's really simple. And anybody that tells you that resolution doesn't matter is not using resolution. Okay, here's how it's done. First off, my camera is mounted upside down. The monitor is not on it, and this is as low as it can get. So it's cruising across like this. All right. I shoot it in 6K. There you go. And then all I got to do in post is zoom in to the exact amount as required. If you rotate your image in Premiere, it's right around this point. It's about 30-something degrees that the most amount of black bars will appear. So find that spot, zoom in, and you got the resolution. If you're shooting in 6K, if you're shooting in 8K, you've got all the resolution you need to output in 4K. I was going a little higher. I think I went like 110%. So technically, it was not true 4K. It was 3.9. But once you get it to there and you're zoomed in to where it covers all the black, now you could do a full rotation in post, and you got it. And if you need to, you can keyframe. So I did it so that as it's starting off upside down and it's coming in, as it gets past that 30-degree mark, again, the 30 degrees where it has the most black, I start to zoom out. So I keyframe a zoom out so that it kind of gives it a Zolly effect. It kind of widens and shoots through. It's very subtle on there, but that's how I did it. Nothing spectacular. I mean, don't underestimate your ability to push it in post. Helps with tripod leveling as well. Yes, it does. I'm a big fan of the bubble level of the tripod. I use that like crazy. Ali, did that answer your question? Did that show you how to do it? Because you can do it with a slider. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. Grip Tip says, I've been using that lens at the 9-to-5. Love it. Hate the color shift, but still it's awesome. Yes, it does have a color shift. What color would you describe it? I would kind of go with mustard brown. That's the color that it gives. I mean, you can't get rid of it 100%, but you can mask it and disguise it. And I don't use the LED at all. But yeah. Do you recommend to have one that's like 2 minutes long? My opinion, Don, is all over the map with everybody else's. What I know, and this is talking to producers that literally look at them, is you put the very best you have in the first 15 seconds. I mean, the stuff that you know is the golden. And you don't just put like 15 seconds of one thing. That everything that you have, that's the best. You put it in the first 15 seconds because that's all they're going to look at. So if they look at the 15 seconds and you capture them, then they'll watch the full 2 minutes. If you put the first 15 seconds and you lost them, they're done. So it's something that I struggle with as well. So I will probably, when I cut this one, I will cut an overall video where the first couple of seconds are my name, obviously with a drone shot, because everyone has to open with a drone shot. Now, that was so 2018, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then it's going to go to gold for up to 15 seconds, and then I'm going to space it out to 2 minutes. And then I'm going to have some like 30 to 60 second other videos. So product shot videos. Product shots are something that people tell me I do well. I mean, if they say I do, then I guess I do. I don't think I do, but I'm always happy to take criticism or feedback. I love it. So I'm going to do a product video one. I'm going to do talking heads one. I'm going to do an edit one because I do a lot of editing, that kind of stuff. And I'll just have a bunch of different reels. So yeah. Let's see. Ali says, awesome. Good, then I answered your question. Director Who Gaming, grip tips. I love you. Well, Dave, you come here, you bring your fan club. Man. NAB, buddy. We're gonna have to we're gonna have to get you into some parties. I got some connections, but you're gonna have to get me into some parties too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I call it root beer. Root beer. Yeah. Root beer was close. That would. Yeah. It's honestly not too far off from Scott's watered down beverage. Let's see. Would you say music is important too, or not really, since they are looking at your shots? Depends. I definitely feel that music makes or breaks everything. So music is absolutely important to me, in my opinion, to your demo reel. And choosing the right music is absolutely as important. Don't go crazy with it, because remember, the person that may be watching it may love classical and hate heavy metal. They may hate country, but love hip hop. They may absolutely love dubstep, but can't stand drum and bass. You don't know. So try not to go heavy, but go with the feels. Make sure the feels match your reel and put it out there. That is my opinion. Talk to several other people because, it's just my opinion, and my opinion is worth exactly how much you paid. Ali says, yeah, I assumed you rotated in post, but hurt my brain trying to reverse engineer it. Very strong shot. Well done. Thank you. I appreciate that. Would you say, yeah, okay, got that. How did I miss that? Okay. Chad says, Scott, I'm still waiting on any hand-me-downs for your red you absolutely positively don't need that you would love to donate to a young creator. I don't have anything for DSMC2. I do have, for anybody with a DSMC1, I have some red volts, the little bitty red volts and chargers. I have 2 that work, 2 that pseudo work, and 2 that absolutely do not work. I don't know if anybody's got one of those. Don says, well, it's a lot since I got a lot of value from your channel. Well, I appreciate that, man. I really do. That's very thoughtful. And thanks. Chad says, Scotty, have you successfully hacked a Red Mini Mag yet and got it to work with an online bought SSD? No, and I won't do it. Couple of reasons. First, having come from engineering, I know how much effort it takes to bring a product to market. And yeah, I know when people crack them open and they're like, hey, it's only got a $100 part. You got to understand, number one, it wasn't $100 when they first put it in there. 4 years ago, when they certified that part, it cost a lot more than $100. It was probably upwards of $600-700. Secondly, they had to go out and buy all of those different ones. They had to run them through their paces. They had to check them. They had to figure out which ones could suit their purposes, which ones they could fix easily, because that's part of it too. Red spent money. On top of that, they spent money developing the camera. They spent money developing everything. It's kind of like a bubble jet printer. Do you honestly think that the ink, and the answer I already know is no, no one thinks that. The ink costs them $30 to replace. No. But the flip side of that, do you honestly think that the printer costs $30? Because that's the thing. You buy the printer, it costs $30 and it comes with a full set of ink cartridges. What? Well, it's about getting you into the ecosystem and making the money. Red has an investment that they spent. And you are only supporting, you don't have a bunch of fat cats kicking back with cigars going, we totally ripped them off. They're making profit, and they should. They should make, but they're not making a bazillion dollar profit. They're making enough to pay their people. They're making enough to throw cool parties. They're making enough to develop new products. And they're making enough to make the investors worth it. All of that comes at a cost. And the cost is you got to pay for it somewhere. So as Jared had put on one of his posts, he's like, I can adjust the price of the media if you want, but that means that something else has to go up in price because they still have to make X amount of dollars on every unit to pay back the initial investment and pay back the future developments. So I won't cheat Red. The reason I won't cheat Red, and this, I mean, if you trust Scott, this is something you can trust. I know that Red is not pissing that money away. I know that they're not kicking back and lighting up dollar bills and lighting their cigars. I know that's not what they're doing with it. They are putting it back into development, and I understand that cost. And I know it because I come back all the way to when I first started in my career. Well, my computer career was in the engineering industry, and I know what it takes to put into it. So I won't shortchange Red on that. And I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to support a company that I bought a product from because I believe in the company. I believe in what it does for me. Same thing with the Sony. I'm not going to hack the Sony because they were doing something wrong. Now, if there's a feature, I mean, because I did do it with, I can't say that I never did. I've never done it with the Red, but like the Canons. The Canons, I used Magic Lantern because I didn't like the way Canon did some of their stuff. But in the end, it was not worth it for me to use Magic Lantern. I used it on one camera all the time for time lapse because it built in an intervalometer. But the rest of the stuff, I put it back because it wasn't worth it. So if you want a budget one, then, I mean, the best bang for the buck is the one take only, or long take, whatever they call it. It's the one from, it's the only one that is licensed and approved by Red, and it's a 2 terabyte mag. But I would recommend you not do it, but you may do what you want to do. I know I actually have all of the actual pieces of information that the Jenny Mag guy, Bruce, by the way, Bruce, where's my videos, man? I'm missing out on the whole Red soap opera. Oh, did your whole world get blown up when reality set in and it was all disproven? Remember when Bruce thought that Apple was going to completely destroy Red and it didn't happen? Yeah. So anyway, so Bruce, when he went out there, Bruce is from Jenny Mag, he posed as someone else on a SSD market forum group and begged and pleaded and got the information on how to extract and import back in the hacks. So I have all of that information. I extracted it. In fact, it was shortly after it was posted that Bruce realized that information was out there, and he had it taken down because the guy that had the forum group was now worried that he was about to get named in a lawsuit. But it exists. That being said, I still won't do it. Not going to do it. That was a long rant. I hope I didn't lose any viewers along that. Does that make sense, Chad? I mean, you paid a lot of money for your camera. They did a good thing building it. You obviously like it. So should you not support the camera and the brand? I mean, look at Komodo. Komodo's coming out. Komodo is going to sell for really cheap. That money came from somewhere. And yeah. Is it possible to use the red app as a reference monitor to focus pull with a Tilta before I buy the app. You're talking about the full control? So with full control, you can actually pull focus using full control with any EOS motor. Also, if you have the, you need the production, I think it's the production module that has the controls for outputting the FRZ motors. If you have that, then you can control it. Yep. Yeah, that's the way to do it. But if you have like I have the EOS, well, this is a PL, but if I have the EOS on here and I put an EOS on there, you can control with the app. You can control focus. And I do. Not when I have a probe lens that's completely manual. Yeah, I use it. And what it won't do is it won't preview. So it's not a monitor. So let me take that back. It will not preview the video, but it will set the distance, and it shows it in distance, so feet. Yeah, you'd have to have a separate monitor to do the actual monitoring. Chad says, I get it. Yes, full control. Okay, got it. Cool. All right. Who's got more questions? Who's got more comments, statements, fun stuff? What are y'all working on? Don, what are you working on where it's cold, -10 degrees up there? That's cold. You know what, the one thing I haven't shot yet that I really want to shoot? I want to shoot beautiful snowfall. I have been trying, and I may do that here like in the next few weeks. I may just drive up to like New Mexico and get some snowfall. I want to shoot that with my red. I'm thinking of Komodo instead of the 1DX Mark III. Yeah, the 1DX Mark III is interesting. I'm interested in what they're doing with it because, well, it's shooting a log, or RAW, and it's shooting high res, 5.9K, which is cool. But it's shooting to CFast Express. And because Red owns the patent for compressed RAW, it's not shooting it in compressed RAW, which means it is a metric ton of data that you're outputting there. So yeah, that's where Komodo is going to destroy that one. But where the 1DX Mark III will destroy Komodo, well, I don't know. Because Komodo has phase detect autofocus, which is about 85% as good as the dual pixel autofocus from Canon. So yeah, I am personally not looking at the 1DX Mark III at all. I have no interest in it, but I have absolute interest in Komodo. Yeah, it will most likely have to be a later in the year purchase for me though, just budget wise. Chad says, I already have the Nano already, and I'm trying to make a cheap standalone system I can afford. I can't afford a Teradek. I understand that. I completely get it. Don says, the way it would be easier to color match and make use of my CFast 2.0 cards. Yeah, exactly. The other thing that was interesting, a friend of mine pointed out to me, those CFast Express cards, there's only one size. I think there's two, 256 and 512. That's it. The larger sizes will not be out until 2021, from what I'm told. So you can fill those up really fast at 800 megabytes per second, which I think is what it shoots at. That's killer. I have a breakdancing event this month. Oh, that's cool. I've seen your breakdancing videos. Those are fun. I love breakdancing myself. I go way back. Now, all y'all youngins won't know what I'm talking about, but I go way back to the original hip hop days. I used to listen to a hip hop group called the Boogie Boys. The only song y'all might know from them is A Fly Girl. A Fly Girl. A Fly Girl. Yeah, I used to listen to them back in the 80s. And yeah, I was in elementary school. And I could do one windmill. That was it. Or the backspin. Backspin. And then the one windmill is all I could do. If you can't afford a pterodactyl, look into Vaxis. Hey, there's Tim Doust. Yep, Vaxis has got a good economy version, the one that they had, and that was the one last week. I couldn't remember the daggum name. They have a V-mount version. You stick it on with V-mount, it gets power through the V-mount, put the V-mount battery in the back, plug it in, and you're off to the races. And that sucker had some serious range. We were using it on a shoot in Atlanta, and we were at a soccer practice field, and we had Video Village up top in the overheads watching that soccer practice field. We went down to the other practice field inside the building to their locker rooms, and they still had video feed. It was great. Don says, but it doesn't do autofocus at 23,976%. I think that'll come. And I think that's not true, actually. I think they said it does now, but it'll only do it in 4K, not 5.7. I think is what it said. It had to do it cropped. I have the 1DX Mark II, so not worth it, I think. Yeah, well, I mean, if I had the 2 and I love the 2, then I'd probably love the 3. But if I was looking at stuff new, I would definitely be looking at Komodo. I think you're going to laugh. The amount of YouTubers that are going to be using the Komodo is going to be staggering. That's not the purpose of the Komodo. The Komodo's purpose is to get in tight places. I mean, have y'all been watching the Bayhem? Michael Bay down in Miami, he has 7 of those Komodos. And if you go to his Instagram, you can see the stuff that they're shooting with them. And the footage should be out in less than a month. In the first week of February, I think, is when that'll be out. But, I mean, there's 7 Komodos down there with Michael Bay, and they're doing pure Bayhem with it. I mean, helicopters flying 6 feet off the floor. It's insane. But, yeah. But you're going to see so many Komodos on YouTubers because, number one, for a YouTuber to go out and buy a $20,000 or $50,000 Red, that's a commitment. But for a YouTuber to drop $6,000 on a Komodo, oh yeah, they're all going to be doing it. And they're all going to be doing it because they truthfully really want to be in the red ecosphere. Why? Because Red Raw is a thing. Bill says, I went to Shenandoah National Park last night. I have a basketball game Saturday, so I was going to be within an hour's drive. It snowed, it melted, it turned into ice, park closed. Story of my life. Don says, yep. Bill says, dang it, drove back last night and have to go back in the morning. Yep. BC camera, yeah, definitely. It is definitely that. Komodo looks like a drone camera. It's going to be that too, but it has some capabilities. It really does. Global shutter is going to be amazing for action cameras. I mean, amazing, because no longer is stuff going to be slewed. Grandmaster Flash. That is some old stuff. Did y'all ever watch the, I think it's on Netflix, and it was called The History of Hip Hop. Oh, it was a great documentary. I think it was a 4-part series. Or maybe it was The History of Rap. But it went way, way back to hip hop. And it went before the Sugar Hill Gang, because a lot of people think Sugar Hill Gang was the first rap, and it wasn't. It goes way, way back to the original hip hop artists. I love hip hop. Hip hop is cool. Might as well buy a Z-Cam. Nah, Z-Cam and Red Komodo, they're not the same level. They're not. People are going to say they are. Oh, look, it's the same size. Well, it's not size. There's a lot more to it. A lot more to it. DJ Cool Hurt. Yeah. Red Code is king. Red Code is king. Allie says, R3D truly an obese file? Oh, you're using, okay. Are you using the cool fat term where all the data that's in there? I hope so. Because obese, it's not obese. It's actually super tiny. Yeah. Jared was using the Komodo in a helicopter. Shows how good the global shutter can be stabilized in post. Yes. He was. Tim, no, he's using a different term. He's not talking about it being inefficient. He's talking about there's so much in the codec for the amount of data that it uses. Am I right, Allie? I'm pretty sure I'm right on that one. Tim is a very big lover and supporter of red as well. So he gets emotional when it comes to the red stuff, and he absolutely will call people out when they say something wrong. And I think he just misunderstood you. Yeah. You did, Tim. You never watched last week's, Tim. You said you were going to. Yeah, there was a whole thing talking about how the amount of data in the red it's so fat. It's a fat negative, a thick negative was what they were talking about. And yeah, that was where Allie was going with it, because I was pretty sure of that one, because that's my new favorite term. Because there is, and Tim, you and I know, we talked about the Monstro and how much color information is in that. Yeah, it is. The R3D is king. It is king. Fat for show. Faux show. Man, 5:30, good stream, guys. I'm loving it. We've had two good streams. Last week was incredible. We had 18 people join, and that's a high for me. And I love it I guess technically a couple of those were the troll guy or gal. You never know. But look how much more motivated I am because I have a little bit of water I can drink. And y'all saw when my wife Cynthia came in, she didn't really want to be on camera. She's not a behind the camera or in front of the camera person. She didn't even wait for everybody to say hi because there's a 23-second delay. Don says, I missed last week. Yeah, you got to do it. 14 watching now. I don't know. It's hard for me to know because it says 13 for me. But it also said at 5 o'clock that there was absolutely nobody watching, which is not true. Y'all were all interacting. It's kind of funny. I mean, stream-wise, I think it's been holding up pretty good. We're at 0.4% frame drop. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing. Bill says the documentary on Cool Mode D with the rap battle was great. Yes, it was. What are you using to film the live stream? That is an A7R3 right there. And I have since forgotten what I set my picture profile because I went through and edited my picture profiles. And so it doesn't look exactly the way I want it to look because it's kind of washed a little bit. I like a little more contrast. Plus, if you remember, or maybe you may not remember, I've been, let me just do that right now. I've been moving lights around. Let me just do that. Try to get that off the background. There we go. That didn't help at all. Let me just brighten that puppy up, see where my light's coming from. Oh, it's not coming from. Where's that coming from? Oh, well, it is coming from there. Okay, fine. So be it, Jedi. Yeah, that's A7R3. Let's see. I think one of the first people, to get their hands on the Komodo, I think it's going to be Tim Dowse there. And if y'all don't know Tim, y'all should get to know Tim. Tim is, he's the moderator and admin on the DSMC2 group on Facebook, as well as several others. And big Red insider, big supporter, all around good guy, multi-talented. He does VFX work. He's actually the one that told me a year ago, dude, just tap the histogram and you can go to the set. Let's see here. What other things can I say about Tim? Look for some cool stuff. I'll pimp Tim when Tim is ready. But yeah, look for some cool stuff from Tim. All right, let's do some rapid fire questions. Throw them out there. I want all 12 of you to throw a question out there. Wait, you can do that? Do what? Don, what is your question in regards to tap the histogram? Yes, you can on the red. Tap the histogram, and it brings up the settings for it. I don't think that's been around forever. I think that's something relatively new. I think when I got red, we were on version 5 firmware, and we're on 6 now? 7.3, whatever. Press and hold, press and hold, press and hold. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, let's do some rapid fire questions. It says there's 12 of you right now. I want every single one of you right now to ask a question. Let's see what happens. Oh, also, on my other channel, I'm going to live stream a group of us painting and drinking live while we do a Bob Ross. Yeah, Tim Dost has got all those tips. Allie says the A7S III is a myth at this point. No, it's not. It's the backup camera on the new car that they built. Who will want it for video with Komodo, 1DX3, et cetera, et cetera? I honestly believe that the S is done. This is my opinion. It's worth how much you paid for it. I believe there are going to be 2 mirrorless from Sony. That is the R4 and the 4. I think they've gotten rid of the S. I just think they just won't admit to it because I think there's a whole bunch of people that are holding out hope. I think you're going to see an S4 come out soon, and you'll have the R4. So you'll have like a 24 megapixel or a 32 megapixel and a 60 megapixel. Let's see here. Tim Doss says, should I start a YouTube channel? I say yes. I say YouTube, there's what, almost 8 billion people in the world. There's always someone who will watch a channel, and you can learn at least one thing from every person you meet. So people can learn from you. You should start your first video. Press and hold histogram. Press and hold histogram. Don says, Tim, yes. Ali says, ha ha ha. Don says, most used matte box filter. ND. I mean, that's my number one filter. From there, mine will be like probably like an 8th Black Pro Mist, somewhere around there. 1 million ISO reverse cam. You know, in my arsenal, yeah, it's ND. ND is my number one, but number 2 would be a Pro Mist, probably about an 8th strength. Ali, there was a camera. It was 3 or 4, I think it's 4 years ago. And this was back when Canon had their 1 million or 4 million ISO. This camera came out and they could extract full color at over 4 million ISO in near pitch black, in starlight. They could produce full color, accurate, no noise, 2K images out of this camera. And I can't recall the name of it, but I have not seen it since. But it was proven. It was not a joke. I wonder if the military just said, this is ours, bye. Donna Chan says, $10. I will subscribe 100%. I will subscribe too, Tim. Zachary says, I really want to work with a Red Monstro 8K Beast. It looks awesome. Get a good project, get a project with a little bit of money, and rent one. They are amazing. They truly, truly are. I remember, yeah, the box cam. Yeah. It's really cool. People posting on DSMC2 about their upgraded Dragon X. Nice. Don, what do you have? You have Dragon X or Gemini, or is it Scarlet W? You have one of those, right? Tim says, yeah, Tim, you've already got 2 subscribers. You gotta create that channel. Why don't you go ahead and create your channel, name it whatever you're gonna name it, and then, you don't have to put a video out yet, but then you could just tell people, hey, come here, come here, come here. Gemini, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the people should be getting their Dragon X's back, which is cool. They had 132 was the number. I mean, that's awesome. That is 132 people that in the next, I don't know how long it's going to take. They're going to have smiles ear to ear. Tim's tips. Tim's tips. You got to be careful with the Tim's tips. Let's see. Start one, Tim. I will sub. There you go. Bill says he'll sub. You know, all these tips. Did you know? Here's a little tip from Scott. Everybody had a teddy bear, I'm assuming. If not, then I'm not ashamed. I still have my teddy bear too. When I was a kid, my Grammy bought me a teddy bear. And it was a very, very expensive teddy bear, actually. But I picked it out, and I named it Tip Teddy. So there's so many tips going around, so Tip Teddy, I think, was a good one. All right, there's more questions that need to come in. There's 13 people. Bill says his New Year's resolution is, hold on, I got Timmy. There's Tim's channel right there. Your link didn't show up right. Put your whole link in there. I'll approve it. Or did it reject it? Oh, just put that. Okay, got it. See. Yeah, Bill says his resolution is Ultra HD. Mm-hmm. Kevin Kelly says, have you had any luck getting producers to pay normal rates after they've tried to lowball you? Well, if they want you, they want you. So that's the truth. If they're coming to you and they start lowballing you, I mean, if you need the money, then, you know, you're going to dip into the race to the bottom. But if you can, stick by your guns. You know, tell them, say, you know, I wish you luck. I'm here for you. I'm here to provide the high quality work that I do that you obviously know already. And, you know, here's my rates. I would be interested in discussing with you a little bit better discount if we're going to do more hours or more days, and if you agree to pay me faster. You can do it that way and see what happens. You never know. Sometimes, I mean, producers are producers. Don's already subscribed. So Tim, looks like you're doing a channel now. That name's hilarious. Tip Teddy, don't be bashing the Tip Teddy. You know, Tip Teddy is still at my mom's house. He's sitting up on the shelf, and he's worn. The sad truth. This is super sad. So this tells you how much of an audiovisual nerd I've been. Poor Tip had surgery, and Tip, when I would guess I was probably 10 or 11. I had these little battery-powered speakers. And Tip got a little bit of surgery done where his stuffing was removed and one of those speakers was put in with a little headphone cable that ran out to a microphone. I went to a little mixer and then a microphone. And little Tip Teddy, poor guy, he sat out on the front porch on Halloween, and when kids would walk up, I'd go, boom, and it sounded exactly that bad. It was so distorted and everything. But yeah, I would scare the kids by putting a speaker. I was 10. This is the 80s, no less. So yeah, that's me, the nerd. Gerald says, evening, everyone. Evening, Gerald. How's the weather up there? Or over there? Ali says, what is the best ultra-wide aspect lens these days? Takina 11-16 has run its course. Laowa seems the best option. Laowa has an amazing one. Also, it depends. Do you need full frame coverage or do you need it Super 35? Tokina has a 11-20 that is really nice. It gives you a little more focus, gives you a little more zoom through range. And it's got a really nice look to it. if you really want ultra wide, yeah, the one from Laowa is insane. And as soon as I return some lenses to them, once I'm done doing all the shooting with them, I might be able to get my hands on, I don't know, we'll see, on these super ultra wide one. That one looks amazing, and it's rectilinear. They did a great job on that one. Gerald says, weather is nuts. Was below freezing yesterday. Today is 62. Both of my air conditioners are on right now, and it finally dehumidified in here. I tried to do it without the air conditioner about 30 minutes before the live stream, and it was so muggy in here. Ugh. Couldn't do it. Let's see. Oh, and those of you who have joined recently, don't forget, coming up, I will be having some giveaways. I've got an Aperture giveaway. I've got a $50 gift card to Adorama I'll be giving away, and more coming up. So yeah, make sure you guys are subscribing and sharing. Share the love to everybody, and yeah, follow along the stuff, because yeah, the giveaways are fun. I'm enjoying doing that. Bill says Gerald just told everyone Shenandoah National Park. Oh yeah, okay. Bill says, did you talk about the Kessler Magmax? I did twice, the very beginning and in the middle. But yes, the Magmax has been released today. It's $199. It is available on their website in very limited quantity, and the price will go up when they sell out of them, almost guaranteed. And it's a 3 amp DeWalt power tool, D-tap and USB out little device. So you don't have to just use your V-mounts. You can use DeWalt's and power. And there is a high current version coming soon. All right, who's got questions? I usually do these about 2 hours, and I think today we're going to do a 2-hour video. Did y'all hear Neil Peart died? That's sad. Neil Peart, the drummer from Rush. That was kind of sad to hear today. I was always a drummer. I was never ever anywhere close to Neil Peart's cousin's left finger, but I always admired Neil Peart. See him drumming right now. All right. Well, if y'all don't have any questions, then we'll close out the live stream. I'll give you a couple minutes to throw some questions out there. It always runs in ramps. In fact, I can look at the chat rate. Yeah. There's like this. Yeah, I'm making the sound effects too. Bill says, was there anything from CES that stood out for you? 8K. Everything's going to be 8K soon. That's really all that stood out to me. Scott, this is my first chance to tell you life that guitar video was over the top good. Well, thank you. That was Bill Hertzing's guitar, by the way. So y'all should all give Bill an applause, virtual applause out there, because he brought his Fender Strat, and it's a real one too, for me to do that one. Yeah, it's cool. And it's a really cool color. At first I was like, that's a funny color, but it grew on me pretty fast. But thank you, Gerald. I appreciate that. The Taquina, and I talked about how I did that. About the first 45 minutes in, Gerald, if you go back and watch it all. And I strongly encourage you to watch this several times. But I talked about exactly how I did it. Kevin says the Taquina 11 to 20 T29 might cover full frame from 16 to 20 based on the color change of the focal length markings. Interesting. I can find out. I didn't think it did. Tim, do you know offhand? I know if Curtis was on here, he would know. Curtis Boggs, my buddy, he shot with that lens for Taquina, so he knows it well. Gerald says, I was very impressed with the rig you put together for the overhead motion control. Thank you. I've done that for a while, and it's a lot of fun. I wanted to see if I could do it, and I could do it. And now I want to do more. If I can just get Eric Kessler to make me my up and down thing. Y'all saw him. He joined in the live stream. Well, he was obviously watching the live stream. Was it a month ago when I was doing the live on a Saturday? Yeah, he was doing that. Also, question for you all. So y'all can all give me, there's 13 of you here. You can all give me an answer. Should I only do live streams on Friday? Or should I, if I'm bored, just pop up a live stream? What do you think? Still doing the Fridays, but just like if I'm bored on a Saturday, do y'all think those are any good or not? I don't know. Y'all tell me. 11 to 20 is softer than the 11 to 16. I believe that's correct. I believe the 11 to 16 has a little bit nicer glass in it. Pepe says, "Hi Scott, what V-mount battery is that on your red?" It is the battery that I shoot, the Blue Shape. They are absolutely, without question, my favorite battery, and I am not sponsored by them. I've done some reviews of them, and I've let them use my reviews in their booths, but they don't pay me. I have loved these the very first time I got them. They're amazing. These, excuse me, they are pricey, but they are the best. They are premium. They have Wi-Fi built into them, so you can tell exactly what's going on. They are robust. If you ever watched that video, find it on YouTube, where they took one of these batteries and they launched it with a giant catapult into a brick wall. All the other batteries died after 1 or 2 pulls. After 7, the Blue Shape still worked. 7 against a brick wall at high speed. Yep, that's a Blue Shape. My favorite. Would certainly love to see more with the Laowa probe lens. Yes, there will be more with the Laowa probe lens. I admitted it up front. A friend of mine reached out and said, it'd be great, Scott, if you'd have shown like a video of the unit actually doing its thing. And what I had to admit was I had actually shot that, but because I had edited that at 2 o'clock in the morning and released it at 3 o'clock in the morning, I forgot I'd shot it. And so I didn't put it in. But there's a lot more. I'm shooting a lot more right now for it. Gerald says, if you are bored, go for it, but would be nice to get a heads up so I know to attend. So that's the thing. The best way for you to do that, Gerald, is to click on the alert bell and put all notifications on it. And it will tell you when hold on, daughter reaching out. I have to hold on just a second. When a daughter calls, you always have to pay attention. I'm sorry, what was I saying? The heads up. Yeah, if I put them on Facebook for, hey, one's coming up in 4 hours, I've found when I do that, people don't remember. So I usually only put it 30 minutes before. That's what I found. I could do it multiple times, but I don't want to spam. You know what I mean? Allie says, we really need an up and down Moco, essentially for, yes, we do. We really, really do. All of y'all could let Kessler know that. They'll build one if enough people will buy one. I mean, it's the truth. If they build it, that kind of thing. Hold on. Live streaming. Anything important? I'm sorry. Life is life. Friday at 4 works for my schedule. Yeah, I'm going to still do those. I like those. Just talking about like extra ones. Extra ones are going to be hit or miss. Yeah, okay. Cool. Oh, she says sorry. No big deal. Okay, Bill says, you should have an impromptu live streams when you are working on something we might find interesting. It doesn't have to be a polished vlog or a 2-hour live stream, just something quick and informative. Okay, yeah, cool. Pepe says, okay, thanks, you're welcome. Bill says, pop one up. Got it. And Bill says, your daughter should just join the chat. She has never been on the live stream. Never. Oh. My daughter is a very talented artist. Very talented. Oh, gosh. Serious back spasm right now. Ouch. And I would love for her to show off for people, but she's her own person. All right, 5 minutes, folks. 5 minutes, folks. Get your comments in fast. Get your questions in fast. I will answer them if you put them in there. If you want to throw some money my way, I will happily accept a super chat. I will always do that. I won't turn my nose up at it at all. So, just a little bit of money. That's fine. All my Patreons disappeared. It's kind of funny. I mean, I love all my Patreon subscribers, but like after the first, I think everybody just kind of either was short on cash or their credit card stopped working. What kind of art does she do? She does drawings. She does pencil art or pencil charcoal, anything with a fine detail, not graphic or not on the computer. She doesn't like that for some reason. I guess she's more tactile, probably like me. She's done some amazing drawings. I'll have to bring a few. She did one, my dog before my buddy here, Dugan was his name. He was a Samoyed, and we had him for 14 years, I think so. She grew up with him. She did an absolute photorealistic pencil drawing of his face. I mean, when you look at it, there's no question what dog that is. It looks photorealistic. It is amazing. That's what she does. Everybody just dropping off. I see. Come on, don't drop off yet. I love these live streams, and I do like people that go back and watch them too. That's cool. I appreciate that too. Yeah. All right. Well, it is 5:57. I've technically been live streaming for 2 hours and 18 minutes and 47 seconds. Any others real fast? As always, guys, you have a question, just put it down in the comments. I do try to read and respond to them. Always share these videos out. Share the channel. Share it with your friends. Get your friends to subscribe. Put some peer pressure on them. I mean, just like severe peer pressure. Get them to subscribe. Let's grow this channel some more. I love the growth that we're doing. We're getting so many great people on here. It's awesome. That makes the conversation so much more fun than just me. I'm kind of boring, I think, otherwise. Gerald says, did you see the new Tilter releases, the Follow Focus and Matte Box? Not sure what you think about that company. I'm hit or miss on that. They do some thievery in the industry, and I'm not keen on that. Their Matte Box, no, I'm not. That one is that's really more of a filter holder. And then the Follow Focus, I did not see that one yet, but yeah. But remember to subscribe to this channel. Tell all your friends to subscribe. Click the alert bell. Make sure you turn on all notifications. That way you're going to know when I'm live streaming. And then thumbs up the videos. Always give them a thumbs up. If you love them, if you hate them, give them a thumbs down. It's okay. And then I have PayPal if you want to support me that way. You just send a little tip my way to say, hey, Scott, here's a tip. Enjoy your live streams. Enjoy your life. Your tangerine drink is getting a little thin there. We give you some more tangerine. All that good stuff. Zachary says, should I start a Patreon or something like that to get to my dream faster? I'll tell you, my experience with Patreon is that almost no one likes Patreon. I don't know why. I right now, it's really sad to say, but as I've always said, I am a 100% honest person. I have 0 Patreon subscribers right now. And I have to believe that part of that is that I don't believe in paywalls. So I don't hide anything behind it, which means everything you're going to get. So it's really a tip jar. I think that has to do with it. I think if I put some of my best stuff behind the paywall, then, you know, maybe people would pay for it. But I just don't like that. I like sharing because you guys share with me as much as I share with you guys. So, yeah. So, as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. And then I just count to 20. That's how we do it around here. And my dog's getting antsy. He is so ready, but he likes the air. Oh, I said dog. All right. Y'all all be good. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you.